Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Friday, November 6th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. We have a lot of important news to go over from Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, as well as Mitch McConnell on the second stimulus check, and a specific timeline on when we can expect to receive it, depending on who wins the election. So, Chris Campbell, Duff & Phelps chief strategist and former Treasury Secretary for financial institutions, spoke on Yahoo Finance Live yesterday to discuss his outlook for the election as results continue to roll in and what that means for the possibility of a second stimulus check and the specific timeline. He said that he strongly suspects that if Joe Biden wins the presidency and Mitch McConnell remains the majority leader, we'll have a second stimulus package prior to Biden be elected before the end of this year. He explained that it'll be less than $2 trillion and may include some aid for state and local governments, that it'll be very targeted, and it will also include PPP money and a $1,200 stimulus check. He said that he thinks that's probably the likeliest and most likely scenario we're going to see if Biden does make his way to the presidency. But ultimately, he said that it'll be up to the House of Representatives to see if Nancy Pelosi wants to deliver that kind of targeted relief or if she's only going to pass a larger bill that is over $2 trillion. But he does think that we should see $1,200 stimulus checks, unemployment benefits, as well as PPP money before the end of the year if Joe Biden is elected and Mitch McConnell is still majority leader. Next up is Larry Kudlow, the director of the National Economic Council, said this week that he expected the White House and Congress to agree on another short-term extension of government funding in mid-December before the start of next year. He reiterated that the White House would like to see additional money and additional stimulus to the Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses, reinstate the boosted unemployment benefits, as well as send out a $1,200 stimulus check. He explains how those three programs will give money directly to the people, whether it's businesses or individuals, in the forms of checks and unemployment benefits. Finally, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. So Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, told reporters on Thursday in a virtual press conference following a meeting of Fed policymakers with the U.S. Central Bank and them saying that they're going to keep interest rates near zero for a long time to come. He explained how all of us lived through the years after the global financial crisis in 2008, and for a number of those years, fiscal policy was very tight. They didn't pass enough stimulus. He said how further economic support and more stimulus is likely to be needed to avoid further spread of the virus and help individuals who, with the expiration of the CARES Act, the expiration of the boosted unemployment benefits, don't have any way to pay their bills right now and are relying on their savings, which are very, very low right now. He said how the economic outlook remained extraordinarily uncertain moving into the second half of this year and into 2021, and that much of it depends on keeping the virus in check and a vaccine being developed. He said the one thing that we can control is passing more stimulus for the people, and he thinks that Congress needs to pass something before the end of the year. He said how the high levels of joblessness have especially been severe for low-wage workers in the services sector, for women and for African Americans and for Hispanics. He said millions of people need more stimulus in order to support themselves, and there are some areas that have been hit harder than others. Jerome Powell reiterated in his meeting yesterday on Thursday that the Fed's commitment to use its full range of tools to nurse the economy back to health, but he signaled that the Fed cannot do it alone, and they can't do it without Congress passing more fiscal and stimulus measures. And he's like, that is one of the main reasons why the recovery has been so good up until this point, because of the trillions of dollars passed with stimulus measures from Congress. He said, without this, we wouldn't be where we are right now. Powell explained how key stimulus measures Congress passed earlier this year, including $600 per week federal boosted unemployment benefits and a program to help small businesses to keep people on their payrolls, those expired in July. So now people have lost their jobs because the payroll program is not in place, and people no longer can get money for boosted unemployment benefits. He said the lapsing of such programs could cause households to run through all of their savings, along with spiking virus cases. He's like, that is not a good recipe for the economy to recover. Increase in virus cases, people not having jobs. He's like, that's why they need to pass more stimulus right now. So ultimately, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve said that obviously it's for Congress to decide things like the timing, size, and components of the next stimulus bill, and how if lawmakers really want to get the economy back up and running as quickly as possible to where they want it to be, well then really they're going to need to work together and pass a stimulus bill before the end of this year. So that's all good news. We heard from top officials saying they believe we will get a bill before the end of the year, and Jerome Powell is also urging Congress as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.